Hi everyone, I'm Dean Jones, President and CEO of Realogics, Sotheby's International Realty. This is Market Perspectives with a little twist. I'm here with my friend and partner, Hill Harper, a man that needs no introduction. But in case you do need an introduction, Hill, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, Dean, thank you. Hey everybody, welcome to a space I've curated called The Rock here on Mercer Island, a private events and meeting space where people can come and be creative. They can come and in community. They can come and have libations and food and have fun and clear out the carpet and have dance, do whatever. And so I am an actor. I'm an author. I'm a father. I am a person who's interested in how do people come together? How do we convene? And what sort of brought me into hospitality is that in my whole profession, I've been an actor. And I do believe that hospitality, when done well, is very similar to entertainment. You know, when I create a character, I do a show, if people are going to take out their time to watch it, then it's incumbent upon us that are delivering the entertainment to give them an experience.
That's right.
They, either laugh, cry, learn something, be touched, whatever. The point is that an experience somehow.
Yeah.
Or you're wasting people's time.
And celebration is a great experience.
And hospitality and bringing people together in community. What you drink, what it tastes like, how you experience it, what you hear, the music that plays, what you see around you, and the design, the ambiance, the lighting. I'm big into candles. And so all of that to me, when done right, gives you this amazing experience. And so for me, very fortunate to have ASA Gathering and ASA Mercer Island here, which is a wonderful award-winning bar that we're very proud of. This is kind of the private event space that grew out of it because of so many requests for private events at ASA. I didn't want to keep shutting it down and people not knowing when it's open. So we're bringing people here for the private events. And then hopefully we'll be, have a conversation about expanding this concept and this idea to other parts of Seattle.
Well, and we have a great opportunity because of this partnership immediately adjacent to our branch office here on Mercer Island, The Rock. What a great name. And we have been so impressed with what you have done at ASA Mercer Island. And obviously we're some of your best fans and patrons at ASA. And we have a new space together adjacent to our Madison Park office on East Madison Street in the heart of Madison Park.
Ooh.
And I just couldn't imagine doing this with anybody else after the success that you have had here on Mercer Island. And that is going to be our next venture. It's super exciting to me.
Super exciting.
And tell us a little bit about what you envision for that space.
Sure. So to me, timeless hospitality can exist anywhere. If you walk into a space, hopefully that I've curated and helped create, the hope is that you don't know if you're walking into a place in Spain, in Italy, in Nairobi, in Cape Town, in Seattle, Mercer Island, wherever. It should be timeless. It should have a vibe.
Absolutely.
And you should be transported in whatever way. And so for Madison Park, it's such a beautiful space with an amazing outdoor area. And so I think highlighting this idea that it's this kind of point where Madison is and the community is. I was told, and I'm not sure, there's some Starbucks executives that live in the area, and they told me that Starbucks in Madison Park is one of the busiest Starbucks in the whole state of Washington, and so a lot of people are used to coming to that area, to that block, and this is across the street from there. And so being able to say, hey, community, there's a place for you to come, a place for you to come and just enjoy, just relax, de-stress, and in the meantime, look at some windows and buy some real estate.
Well, we can do that together. This is going to be a collaboration at the crossroads of hospitality and real estate.
Sure.
I'm so excited to be creating an events venue and a retail installation that can be a catalyst for conversation. And we believe that real estate happens where the conversations start. And why not do that in such a bespoke setting that is curated by you with your craft made, cocktails and your pop-up experiences. So I just see this as a beautiful alignment, just like we're doing here on Mercer Island,
Absolutely.
playing next in Madison Park.
And what's interesting is what I keep hearing is that so many people, they pay attention and take their design of their homes and spaces very seriously. And oftentimes, and this is not a knock on all the places in Seattle, I'm just saying this is what people have told me, okay, that they want to go to a space when they go out that's equally elevated to their home.
Oh yeah, it's a living room for the community.
And it's a living room for the community. That's exactly what it is. And what part of the problem is that the way the hospitality business and the challenges that happen over time, it's very clear to me, it's not an easy business. And people have to understand all of the costs that go into the back end and the front end of these or having these businesses. So it makes sense that most of the places will end up purchasing the least expensive piece of furniture. The thing that's not that interesting looking. Not necessarily have a bunch of art on the walls if you don't want to have, because it costs money to have art on the wall.
I love it though.
And so, but no. But the thing is, I believe if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
And they'll celebrate it. And ultimately, on the long term, there's a payback. Short term, there's a heavy burden, and a heavy cost to get it open and the upfront cost.
Yeah.
But long term, you build a sustainable business that people call home, away from home.
I love it. It's another third place. I mean, this seems to be more than a business for you. This is a passion project. What's inspired you to create a speakeasy in Puget Sound, let alone a second one?
I love art, and I love conversation, and I love people. And to me, post-COVID, that experience hurt a lot of hospitality businesses. And when you think about over time, people still thirst for connection.
Yeah.
One thing that's interesting, I'll just tell a quick anecdote. A guy sits down at Ace at the bar, and he's a first timer there, and he has a cocktail, and he's listening. He says, "Man, this is the best cocktail I've ever had." And he's, he says, and this, we have this homemade truffle popcorn. He says, "This is the best popcorn I've ever had." And he's like, "This is the best bar stool," because we have these really comfortable bar stools. And, in fact, when I was purchasing those bar stools for there, everybody told me, do not spend that money, as much money as those bar stools cost. They're these beautiful Restoration Hardware bar stools. And they said, no bar, you're not gonna sell enough drinks at that stool to pay for that bar stool. But I'll tell you, the guy saying it's the most comfortable bar stool he's ever sat in just made my heart warm. But then he said something interesting. He said, the only thing that would make this better. I said, what's that? He said, I'm here by myself. You don't have any TVs. And I said, you know what? That's intentional, because I want you to look to your right and look to your left and have a conversation with somebody, because there's some really cool, interesting people that are sitting next to you right now.
That's right.
And if I had a TV up like 99.99% of every bar in Seattle or across the country, then you'd be looking at ESPN or whatever and not talking.
Right.
And the purpose of you coming out, you can watch ESPN in your house.
I'm so glad you said
Come out
that.
and have those conversations. That's why I want you out here.
I think that that's what a gathering space should be. Yes. And I picked up on that sort of post-COVID reality as a business owner and as a brokerage. We have these bespoke retail locations, very high profile, 6 of them throughout Puget Sound. And we've created beautiful venues for our brokers to mix and mingle and collaborate and do business. increasingly with the advance of technology and of course with hybrid work environments, we see fewer of the brokers coming around. And that's why we're doubling down right now to create these kinds of lifestyle venues with you and other retail partners that we have in Kirkland and in downtown Bellevue and on Winslow Way there in Bainbridge Island, and now here on Mercer Island with you, and here in Madison Park with you. I just think this is the next generation of real estate brokerage operations with the addition of an independent food and beverage operation, a lifestyle center that you have created, and that can program all kinds of different events. I mean, here at The Rock and what you envision in Madison Park, what are the kinds of events that you're seeing being popular?
Listen, I think it's all over, and you never want to be the one thing you want to be very intentional in creating beautiful space, but then you don't also want to at the same time try to get too precious with it, right? So to me, I want people to be able to walk through these doors and use it the way they want. A couple different things. We want to do corporate dinners, which we did a dinner recently for the board of directors of a large foundation here in Seattle. We want to do birthday parties and bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. We want to do whiskey and bourbon tastings. We want to do dance parties. You know, one thing I've noticed here that I want to try to solve for is that the teenagers in this community have no place to go. And
like a game night even.
I really want to go to one of the high school organizations, say, hey, let's partner on this. You'll raise some money for your org. We'll do a Friday night dance party and, charge a cover. You get all the pizza, all the soda you want. And we bring in a cool DJ and we just dance. And these kids can come. Maybe it's a once a month thing. Choose a different organization every month. And then you're giving back to the community. You give the kids something to do. I remember seeing a documentary about Bruce Springsteen and in growing up in New Jersey. And Jersey at that time used to have all these under 18 kind of clubs.
Interesting.
And he credits that for, that whole idea when he was 14, 15, 16, going out to these places, hearing live music, hanging out with his love of music and bringing people together. So all that's to say, we want to do all that. And then there's a couple other things. You think about it. Mahjong, bringing people. We had a Mahjong event last night. So game nights, Mahjong. And then I heard that there is a demand. Lisa Caruccio used to have a private event space. And she had said that a number of the senior facilities around here there would be sometimes memorial or homegoing events. So it ranges whatever someone wants to use the space for. There was an artist who came and said, hey, I want to teach people art here. I want to, bring out canvases. So it's not just about food and drink. It's about any use. It's a blank canvas.
I love that.
To be used how the community wants to use the space.
It dawns on me, Hill, that you're putting the you in venue, right? This is that alignment because you can personalize the space for your needs and wants. And I like the scale of it too. First of all, it's retail storefront, access to parking. It's not going down speed ramps in some big commercial office building, up an escalator through a food court, or a ballroom in a hotel, or the confines of a private dining room within a restaurant that has many other patrons in it. So you kind of have this Goldilocks moment. It's just the right size.
Just the right size. And what I love about it is, to your point, it can be completely private. And I think that a lot of times with social media, with, concerns about, people, getting canceled or saying the wrong thing or doing this, doing that, people are concerned about perception, and rightfully so. Because people get targeted, and here, if you have an event here, it is private. It is a private event. And it's for you to let your hair down, to do and be and how you want it to be, and you structure it the way you want. To the point where we either do the whole event for you, soup to nuts. Plug and play. You say we want a 4-course sit down meal. We want dancing afterwards. We want this, and we do the whole thing soup to nuts. Or on the complete flip, we say some people say, listen, I want control, run of the space. I want to do the event exactly why I want to do it. We just unlock the door, walk in, do your event. And so from extremely low touch to extremely high touch, or anything in between, because to me, the person who wants to do the event is always right.
Hill, I know you have the relationship with LVMH
Yeah.
and possibilities of doing some pop-up events with them. How would that work?
So first of all, LVMH is just an iconic brand around the world.
Absolutely.
It speaks to luxury, that speaks to bespoke nature of quality with all their brands. One of my dear friends is a corporate executive at Moet Hennessy and their cognacs and Paradis and all of this. I would love to do something with them, because a lot of people, they're interested in learning about things, but they're kind of shy and embarrassed, like, oh, I should know what a cognac is and how cognac. No, you don't need to know that. Let's educate. Let's talk about it. Then, of course, on the Moet side, you have a brand like Veuve Clicquot, which we did an amazingly successful summer event. We had the Veuve Clicquot champagne cart, we had the umbrellas, we had the Veuve Clicquot surfboard. It was a great summer event on the patio at ASA. And then another one of their brands that people may not even realize is Woodinville. Whiskeys, bourbons, all of that. And so they have a whole range of brands. Now, you can't see it on camera here, but I'm looking at it right now. There's a vintage Louis Vuitton suitcase that is over here. Maybe they'll cut to it so you guys can see it. But we're talking about brands that have lasted centuries. And this is an example of to me, what I want to represent. That's why I have that Louis Vuitton suitcase.
It's a little eye candy.
It's a little
in your spot.
A little art installation, right? And so that, to me, collaborating with folks like LVMH and what they do, collaborating with people like Quinn from Fog Rose. She catered a dinner that we had recently and did just such a phenomenal job. And so, to me, I want to find ways, and even with ASA, I always tell people we don't have a formal kitchen. We serve charcuterie, we serve our world famous truffle popcorn and these gourmet nuts, and not a lot else. If folks want to bring food in, great. But I encourage them to go to Mio Posto across the street, or go to Vivian's Bistro, or go to Alistair, because we want to support local businesses. So in Madison Park, we're going to do the same.
And you're a compliment to their business because you have the private dining room that maybe they do not have.
That's exactly right.
And let me back up on a comment that you made about working with world-class century-old brands, because I happen to represent one with Sotheby's International Realty.
Sotheby's is exactly one of those.
And Q1 of 2026 is going to mark not only the 50th anniversary of the real estate brand, and this is a brand that's been around since 1744 with the Sotheby's auction house, but it's also our 10-year anniversary of our establishment in Madison Park. So it's very apropos that this is all taking place at this time.
That's right.
A very auspicious time of year, and it'll be certainly a lot of celebration. What does it mean to you to have this kind of alignment with a lifestyle partner like Sotheby's International Realty?
It means the world. I have, and you know this, a coffee shop in downtown Detroit. And, right now it's the winter time. They're right across the street from that coffee shop. There are people ice skating. There's a massive downtown Christmas tree. There's snow everywhere. And when you think about the lifestyle of in a place like Detroit where it's cold and people are ice skating together, Seattle has its own unique weather patterns and culture.
Sure.
But what sort of is ubiquitous are brands that bring their own culture to these places and spaces. And so for me to come from Detroit, to be here, to open up businesses, great. For Sotheby's, listen, I'm very proud of the art collection that I have. I'm very proud of the work, and I have purchased work, part of my collection, at Sotheby's auctions.
Love it.
And so the understanding that a brand that represents art quality, and also in the real estate space, obviously the agents that would be representing and wearing a moniker like Sotheby's are special and not just an average agent.
That's right.
And also the homes
Mm-hmm.
and the real estate that's represented is not, just like their art isn't. So to me, linking with an LVMH, linking with Sotheby's, partnering with these iconic brands is just an extension of what I'm attempting to build locally, whether it's in Detroit or
Sure.
whether it's here.
I think we have the same demographic targets as well in terms of who we serve, and lining up these logos. They are in the verticals of real estate and wealth management and private travel and, you know, food and beverage and art and investment. I mean, across these verticals, we're going to have all kinds of alignments for events.
I think so.
And for content marketing. And speaking of that, you know, we're so proud. Just recently, we were acknowledged as a brand as having the #1 earned editorial footprint in the world for real estate. And now
That's
the number
incredible.
1 for social media.
Congratulations.
So as a combined footprint, that is.
And your podcast is at the top of that list.
My tens and tens of followers, there they are. I'll add them to your 500,000 followers, Hill. But I just can only imagine the attention that you're going to bring to these spaces. And you said something earlier that I think is very important, because we have a lot of very affluent clientele, and sometimes these events want to be private. And you have many famous people in your ecosystem. And having the ability to curate an event with the discretion and privacy that's necessary, I think is also part of your brand.
Without question.
Yeah.
So, you know, Dave Chappelle was in town playing a sold out show at Climate Pledge.
Yep.
And he came to ASA the night before, and we had a great night. Robert Glasper, 5-time Grammy winner, was there.
Wow.
We did some music there, live music. Dave brought in a piano for Robert, and we just had a great night. You know, at his shows at Climate Pledge, he has people lock up their phones because he doesn't want to record it. Obviously, at ASA, you know, we had people put their phones away. We didn't want anything recorded, and you know, and that's just the way we do it. We want to cater to folks' desire, so they can feel that they can just be themselves, let their hair down, do what they do and be and how they want. You know, in this area, a number of the players for the Kraken, they live they live in the area. Obviously, they don't want, if they want to come out and have a drink, they don't want people saying, "Hey, I saw the guy from the Kraken having a drink, and they're going to lose tomorrow." You know,
Right.
Julio Rodriguez lives here on the island. You know, I mean, we're very proud of the Mariners and their run.
Absolutely.
What they've done. So we want to allow people who may be in the public eye to be able to come out and have a completely, you know, just fun experience, and not worry about who's photographing them, if they're going to just get bothered all night with someone asking for an autograph or sign my jersey.
Yes.
or anything like that. And so we're very intentional that we are a destination. I'm very proud to be a destination where a number of celebrities and people of note feel comfortable coming. And ASA has developed that reputation. And the hope is that obviously the Rock is a private event space, so it's that times 10. And then in Madison Park,
Right.
in the collaboration we're doing, we want that to be an extension, because that's in Seattle. And it would be great that if that space becomes a place where anybody can come and not feel like they're going to be mobbed or photographed. Yeah.
And I think that because it is so high profile retail, and we have that very prominent patio that's being designed and developed on private property that has been overlooked, I think, by past owners of that building as beautifully landscaped
Yes.
environment, but it also is now going to be a hybrid of landscaping and patio furniture, an outdoor fire pit, and Tivoli lights, with some privacy screening still in design development with you right now.
Yeah.
But to me, that's going to be one of the, who's in there today? What's happening there that afternoon? I mean, especially a beautiful evening like we have in the summertime here, especially.
yes.
Is there another place like that
Not
in
that I
Madison
know.
Park?
Not that I don't know where there's another place in Seattle. I mean, obviously there's some beautiful places where you can go.
Some rooftops
Some rooftops and on the water. But this is kind of more of a, you know, I don't know who's listening right now that's been down ever to the Ivy in Beverly Hills.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But the Ivy is iconic in the sense that it's in the middle of a, you know, business neighborhood, you know, retail storefronts, but it's got its little white picket fence. It's got a little ivy and a nice curation, and people love to sit outside, watch the cars go by, kind of be seen, but at the same time enjoy themselves. I want that space in Madison Park to kind of have that Ivy feel, and have that vibe where, you can be seen as much as you want to be seen or not. I call it, you can be anonymous or you can be out there.
Okay.
And whichever way you want to be, we hold space for either one.
Well, and part of the space that you're holding for us is when you're not in your business hours, which is going to be mostly in the afternoons and evenings, especially Thursday through Saturday, maybe some brunches on the weekends. There will be private events being booked in a collaboration with our shared spaces together. And for our audience in the real estate community, this is also a place of business.
Yep.
And we could grab a latte and sit in the lounge, enjoy the fireplace and the beautiful artwork at a time that you're not utilizing the space. And I think this is really where these real estate hybrids are going, Hill. And you jumped right on top of it when we, considered this space here at The Rock, is because we don't want to be a 9 to 5 alone. I mean, for us, it's a lifestyle proposition to have access to this kind of food and beverage and entertainment, which can include, live music, maybe comedy nights. Place like Madison Park, I think we'll launch the Yappy Hour for the puppies to come by and, enjoy the families as well.
Yes.
So it's all sort of a social experiment as well. I love the organic nature in which you practice your business, because you said it earlier, if you build it, they will come, but you're learning along the way too, and you're listening to that clientele.
You want to give people what they want. Sometimes they don't know what they want.
Yes.
Until
they see it. Or they taste it.
And they taste it and they see. And then you respond. And you
Right.
say, oh, I loved this or I loved that. It's just like the guy who said in his mind, he wanted a TV, but he really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then he really came up to me later. He said, that what you said to me, no one's ever said to me. I'd never realized consciously, and this is the conscious piece, I never realized consciously that when I go out and I defer to watching a TV at a venue, that it completely cuts me off. It's just like for folks who go out and get on their phones
Right.
and social the whole time. Sure, you can go order a drink and get into Instagram and just be on your Instagram and have a drink and not even look at who's to your left or to your right. Or you could say, you know what, I'm going to put my phone down.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy this drink. It may feel a little uncomfortable because I'm not used to living this way now. But I'm going to realize it's going to force me. And I always tell my son and I tell my staff, I always say compliments are free. And what's so beautiful about compliments is that they make the other person feel good, but it also gives you an entree to have a conversation.
Right.
Hey man, I really like the sweaters. We're wearing almost the exact same sweater. You look great. I like those sneakers. You just look. I mean, it's not that hard because listen, it's like celebrate what someone else is either doing. Look, it could be their hair, it could be their eyes, it could be their smile, it could be their swag. It doesn't matter. Everybody, and I try to live my life that way. Meaning, it's become almost so organic to me that when I see somebody, I just want to say, that's my point of connection. I want to make you feel good and compliment you and say, hey. And so the idea of hopefully, if we can do that from a hospitality perspective, it filters into the way people operate in this space. It's anti-Seattle freeze.
Right, exactly right. Yes. I think that there's always room for that, Hill Harper. You have done an amazing job already in this pursuit with ASA Mercer Island, now expanded to The Rock here, adjacent to us in our Mercer Island branch office. We're so thrilled to be collaborating and cohabitating with you in our location on Madison Street.
Madison Park, here we come.
Let's do this together. I appreciate
Thank you
for
so
jumping
much,
on the podcast. This has been Market Perspectives. I'm Dean Jones. You'll be hearing a lot more from Hill Harper and this collaboration coming soon to Madison Park.